Guys, welcome to another video. Today we are in central part of Montenegro in a small town called Cetinje. Cetinje is a cultural capital of Montenegro and it is a beautiful place to visit to learn more about the history and the heritage of Montenegro. So we're going to see a couple of very cool places around, and then we're heading to Lovcen National Park, where we are going to explore one of the most famous mausoleums in this part of Europe, which is 1,700 meters above the sea level. This mausoleum is famous because one of the most famous Montenegrin kings was buried there, and it is a place where you can enjoy the beautiful views over the Boka Bay and surrounding areas. So guys, make sure to stick around till the end to enjoy fully this beautiful tour ahead of us. So guys, we're going today to explore Cetinje. It is a great day trip from Budva or Kotor, or even from capital of Podgorica, as it is only half an hour from any of these places. So basically Cetinje is a very important part of Montenegrin history and national pride, because it is where pretty much everything started back in the 15th century. Cetinje was founded in the 15th century by this guy right over here. He's called Ivan Crnevic, and he's one of the most important people in history of Montenegro. As I mentioned, Cetinje is a great day trip from the seaside town from Montenegro, as it is a small town and it's quite easy to see all there is to see in just a couple of hours. So a couple of museums, historical landmarks, and also you can enjoy just walking the streets of Cetinje, as there are so many coffee shops, very cool restaurants, and you can enjoy some great food and drinks too as well. So guys, we are now at the Royal Square. It is one of the main squares here in Cetinje. So this square houses some of the most famous landmarks in Cetinje and the whole of Montenegro. So over there, the red building is the King Nicola's Museum. It is one of the most influential kings and persons in Montenegro's history. Then here is a place called Biljarda, and it was also a residence of one of the Montenegro's kings from Petrovic Njegos dynasty. So Cetinje is pretty much easily reachable by car or public transportation from Podgorica, Kotor or Budva, as it is just only half an hour drive from there. Public transportation costs only a couple of euros, or you can also take a rent-a-car, as this maybe is the most convenient option to explore Montenegro, as it gives you really the great freedom and to travel on your own pace. So guys, just a couple of steps from the Royal Square you will find the famous Cetinje Monastery, and as I mentioned, this is one of the most focal points of Cetinje and the whole Montenegro. The monastery was founded in the 15th century by Ivan Crnevic, who founded Cetinje as well, and this is definitely one of the most significant cultural and spiritual monastery in Montenegro. So basically, when Montenegro became the independent country on Berlin Congress in the 19th century, this is when Cetinje became a capital, and this is where the major development of Cetinje started. Most European powers from that day, such as Austro Hungarian, France, Italy, etc., set up their consulates and offices in Cetinje, and some most prominent people from the cultural life of Montenegro Montenegro moved to Cetinje, and late 18th, 19th and beginning of 20th century was truly one of the most memorable eras of this place. As you see, Cetinje is filled with so many coffee shops and restaurants as well, and the food is truly great around here. So there are a couple of main streets in the very city center where most of these amazing restaurants and the coffee shops are located, and you can see there is a deep shade as well to protect you from the heat during the summer months. So as you see, town center is quite small and it's easy walkable. Everything is pretty much within the walking distance. So as I mentioned, I showed you some most important historical places. If I continue talking more about the history, this video would be way too long. So the main street in Cetinje is called Njegoseva Street, and that is where pretty much the Royal Square is located, and also all the cafes and restaurants I was mentioning. So when you continue from Njegoseva Street, you will just continue to the pedestrian place that will lead you to this beautiful park, and a couple of significant also buildings are in this street, such as the British Embassy, which used to be once upon a time, and also here there is a residence of the President of Montenegro. As you see, this is a refurbished old palace, and this truly is a stunning place to see. Unfortunately, it's not possible to go inside and explore it. Guys, that was a small tour of Cetinje city center. I like coming here every couple of months, as the city has a very cool slower vibe, and it's cool to take a walk and just enjoy the slow pace and enjoy, of course, great food and drinks. So now we are heading to Lovcen National Park, and we're going to visit the Mausoleum of King Petrović Njegos II, and from there we are going to admire the gorgeous view of Boka Bay and surrounding areas. Guys, I'm now driving on a very scenic road from Cetinje toward the Lovcen mountain, and as you see, this is a steep and curvy road, and it is really great to enjoy the scenery around, and this is in the zone of Lovcen National Park. So as you can see here, this road will take us toward the Mausoleum and also toward Kotor. So as we are now entering Lovcen National Park, there is entrance fee of 3 euros. Make sure to bring cash with you, as it is charged only in cash and cards are not accepted. Guys, we reached Lovcen mountain, and there are just a couple of hundreds of steps away to reach the top of the Mausoleum. As you see, it is up right there. So we're going to take about 300 plus steps and to reach the Mausoleum and admire the beautiful views over the Boka Bay. And also, I remind you, this is a place where one of the most famous Montenegrin kings was buried. As you see from here, there are gorgeous views of the surrounding mountains, and this view is simply stunning. Look at it, guys. Lovcen National Park is a true jewel of Montenegro's central part. So guys, from Cetinje it is only about half an hour drive to reach Lovcen Mausoleum. It is a curvy road, so you need to be careful when driving, and there is entrance fee for the national park. So basically you can also take your rent-a-car from Cetinje, or you can take a taxi. It's usually about 15 to 20 euros at this point. There is no really public transportation option. Guys, this was a bit of a challenging hike, as the steps are quite steep, but look at this gorgeous view, guys. Look at this. This is definitely all worth it. Half of Montenegro just in front of you. and the mausoleum is right over there. But this view is well worth the hike, and you can see Cetinje down there in the valley. Also have to mention that there is €5 entrance fee for the mausoleum, and also make sure to bring the cash, but those €5 are definitely well worth this beauty right around us here. Look at this, guys. And now here we are just in front of the mausoleum. This mausoleum is where Petar Petrović Njegos was buried, and he was a king in the 18th century. The mausoleum in this looks was built in the 70s, and this was one of the most monumental pieces of architecture in Montenegro back in the day. So guys, after we pass the tombstone in the mausoleum, the path will lead us toward the viewpoint, which is just behind it, and then you stumble upon such views. So as you can see, we are now 1,700 meters above the sea level, and it can hardly get any better. Guys, how impressive are these views? So over there in front of us, where you see those thick white clouds, is where Boka Bay is. When there are no clouds, you can actually see the sea and the mountains that are right over there. Anyhow, even like this, these are really gorgeous and equally impressive views. So this was a little tour of Cetinje and the Lovcen National Park and Mausoleum. I hope you like what you saw, and you understand why this place is definitely a must visit when you explore the central part of Montenegro. Guys, how amazing those views from the viewpoint were, right? So after the amazing tour of Mausoleum and the burial place of Petar Petrović Njegos II, I drove a couple of kilometers to a cozy and picturesque village called Njegusi. So why Njegusi is so important? It's because it is the place where 7 Montenegrin kings and princes were born, and there is a birth house of Petar Petrović Njegos II, whose grave we saw up there in the mausoleum. So right in front of me here is the birth house, and this house is over 200 years old, and now it is turned into a museum. It is great to visit this house, as you can learn a lot about Montenegro's history and all the generations from Petrović Njegos dynasty, who ruled Montenegro for over 200 years. So besides the birthplace, which is sadly not allowed to film inside, I also paid a visit to one of many houses who have to offer the organic food and drinks. So this house is called Petrović, and the owner was very friendly, and they really have amazing organic food that I will show you right now. Guys, so today we are in a little village called Njegusi, and this is a place just a couple of kilometers away from Mausoleum, where we just visited the tomb of Petar II Petrović Njegos. So this village is actually quite perfect to make a little stop and to enjoy one of these old houses and the rich heritage that you can find. As you see, this house is over 400 years old, and this house actually offers you, as a couple of others, you can try some local delicious organic product such as prosciuttos, cheese, and the local honey as well. So look at this, guys. This is perfect for some smaller groups as well, and it is quite traditional setting how the families in Montenegro lived a couple of 100 years ago. This is truly one of the places not to miss when you explore Cetinje and Njegusi, and I recommend it for sure to visit once you are in this area. So the products that you can try are really prime organic, locally made, very fresh, and I advise everyone to try this, as this is really a traditional gem of Montenegro's culture and cuisine. Guys, so from Njegusi we are going to take a Austro Hungarian old road to reach Kotor. So this is an old road and it's really awesome, as the scenery is amazing. We're going through the woods, and it's a zigzag road, as you see, with so many curves, some wild tunnels along the way, and then things can hardly get any better when you check out this view in front of us. So it's pretty much all Boka Bay, and this scenic tour is most likely one of the best scenic roads in Montenegro. So I'm very happy to show it to you and to drive on it, as I haven't done it for about 6 or 7 years. Guys, I'm on one of the viewpoints on the narrow road leading from Njegusi to Kotor, and the views I'm about to reveal to you now are, I believe, the best views ever that you can get in Montenegro. So check out this, guys. So this easily might be the best idea for the coffee shop. It's right here on this steep hill, and then there is a little garden, or whatever we want to call it, and then these unbeatable views from it. Look at this, guys. Can it get any better than this? There is a really cool, nice breeze and a nice afternoon sunshine, and this is definitely one of the best views I ever had in my life. The mountains rising so steep from the water, and then the Boka Bay fjord is just stunning, and down there you can see Kotor Old Town in shape of a small triangle coming out. This setting is unbelievable, and I will probably never get enough of these views. Over there is a town of Tivat, along with Tivat Airport. Guys, that would be pretty much the most awesome ending of our tour from today. So the rest of the tour is a road leading you to Kotor. So guys, I hope you liked this video and what I showed you, and I hope Cetinje and Njegusi, along with this old road to Kotor Old Town, is now on your list to visit when exploring Montenegro. Please subscribe to the channel to keep it going and to stay up to date with all the weekly content I will be putting out from Montenegro. Let me know in case you have any comments down there in the section, and I will see you next week. Thank you for watching, guys.